We successfully exited Mexico and entered Guatemala. The border crossing at Ciudad Cuauhtémoc and Mesilla is right in the middle of the busy market. It took us about an hour and 15 minutes to complete all of the entrance requirements, and then we were on our way to explore Guatemala, heading for Lake Atitlan.
Only a few kilometers after you cross the Guatemalan border, there's a gas station, a great place to fill up and use the facilities, and they do accept credit cards at the pumps. If you didn't change over very much money at the border, you'll want to find a bank machine. Other than gas stations and grocery stores, most places only take cash. They do not accept US dollars. Quetzales, the Guatemalan currency, is named after the quetzala, which is the national bird of Guatemala. We found the best place to go and find a bank machine at grocery stores and at gas stations. Most of those places are safe and secure and will have a security guard sitting outside.
The road conditions on the CA1 as you enter Guatemala are atrocious. The road is in major need of repair, which they are currently working on, so be prepared for a slow go. Between the potholes, bumps, construction, and the very steep grade of these windy mountain roads, it took us over 5 hours to travel just 200 kilometers. On a positive note, the countryside is very beautiful, and there are not as many topos or speed bumps as there are in Mexico, and they're at a more gentle, rounded slope and not as high.
Guatemala is the most populated country in Central America, with just over half its population living in the highland and mountain region.
Get off the road, chickens.
Ooh, we just hit a chicken. Oh, we just hit a chicken.
That was chicken.
Pigeon.
It was a chicken. Somebody's dinner just ran out in front of us. And I got that on tape.
We'll look at the playback.
Yeah.
I don't know what you wanted me to do.
Well, no, you couldn't have done anything. Chickens were, bump here.
No, it's fine.
Oh, water. The chickens were like all spread out. Like, yeah, we couldn't really veer to the left because we would hit other chickens. Well, somebody's hitting the frying pan tonight. Finally, the roads got better and we were on better pavement. Due to the slower than expected, we expected slow, but not this slow. We knew we would not make it to Lake Atitlan today, so we have another campsite picked out that is under an hour from the lake.
Hello, we are outside of our campsite here in Guatemala. We had a really good sleep. It was kind of cool. I think it dropped down to like 10 or 13 degrees Celsius. 9 degrees Celsius.
Degrees in the tent.
So we had extra blankets, but it was really nice. It was very refreshing. I slept really, really well.
Me too. I slept well. I got a little bit warm in the night. I ended up taking my toque off and pushed a blanket back. Yeah, it was super nice.
And the dogs weren't very restless at all, so they slept through the night.
Yeah, the car only went down to 13.
Yeah.
And that was like, I think at like 4 in the morning I got up to go pee, and it was like 14 in the car. So then after I crawled back into bed, we just ran it for 10 minutes just to give them a little heat. But the pups had their sweaters on, so they were comfy and happy.
Okay, so we will show you around the campsite here in Guatemala. What is this place called?
Corazon del Bosque. We'll put the name down below. And it's about 30 minutes from Lake Atitlan.
Yeah. And about how far from the border?
About 200 kilometers from the border.
And how many hours?
About
5 hours?
5 hours, almost 6 hours from the border.
So that gives you an idea that driving from the Mexico border into Guatemala, it is a little slow going at first, but once you get past the first 100 to 150 kilometers, the road smooths right out, and you can see that they're working on the road, so it's gonna get better.
Yeah.
So just watch out for holes. Yeah. There's holes on the road, on the asphalt.
And also good reason to make sure that if you're crossing the border that you do plan to cross early in the morning, because it is a slow go. And we actually had a couple of spots planned that we could have stopped for the night because we didn't know how long it was going to take to get through the border. Sometimes people say it takes 2 hours, sometimes people say it takes 8. It only took us about 2 hours, so we got here about just a little before 4:30. 4:30 we arrived here. But if it would have taken us like 6 hours to get through the border, we would have had to stop somewhere further back. So just
yeah, it seemed like we were the only vehicle driving through the border, so.
Yeah. We had all their attention.
Yeah.
All their help. They were very helpful.
And they checked in the dogs. They saw the dogs in the back, so they checked them in. Sometimes they don't, but this time they saw the dogs and they had to pay the small fee to get in.
Yeah, 109 quetzales, so it's nothing really. And actually it was the dog paperwork that took the longest. That was the first stop, was fumigation and the dogs. I gave them their vet paperwork and all their immunization records, and then they said, okay, leave it with us, we'll work on it, and you go down the road and go to the other places and stamp your passport and get your tip and all that for the car and then come back. And I was done all of that and came back, and the nice gentleman was like, oh, so sorry. He's like, I need like 15 more minutes. So we just hung out for 15 more minutes and then the paperwork was ready, so. All right, let's check out this wicked camp spot. Corazon del Bosque means the heart of the forest. And that's fitting since the name Guatemala originates from indigenous words that mean place of many trees. This camping area is located within the Corazon del Bosque Nature Reserve, and it's not only camping, but it's a nature park and recreational area. There are hiking trails, soccer fields, a restaurant, an activity and learning area, and several pools, but the pools were closed the day that we were there. This place is well located. It's only about 45 minutes from Lake Atitlan in a small town called El Novelero, right off the CA1 highway. And it's far enough off the highway that you can enjoy peace and quiet and just the sounds of nature.
Camping here only costs 70 quetzales, or $9 US. If you wanted to visit the Lake Atitlan area and save a little bit of money, this would be a great location as a home base. You could travel back and forth. We've really enjoyed our time here, and we'd love to come back and stay here next time we're in the area. But stay a little bit longer. But Lake Atitlan is only 45 minutes down the road, and we're very excited to go and explore the area.
We have the SUV packed and loaded. Penelope enjoyed a nice morning walk in the cooler mountain temperatures, while Tigger spent some time sleeping in the car. But we're ready to hit the road, and we should arrive at the lake before noon. Thanks for watching, and hit that subscribe button to follow all of our adventures. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, and we'll see you on the next amazing adventure.